Frans De Waal, our inner ape, a leading primatologist, explains why we are who we are. Embark on a fascinating journey with Our Inner Ape, a leading primatologist, explains why we are who we are, by Frans De Waal, as we explore the depths of human behavior and morality through the eyes of our closest relatives, chimpanzees and bonobos. Delve into evolutionary logic, with a fresh perspective on our moral reasoning, competitive inclinations, and cooperation. Discover how key behavioral traits among primates, including empathy and fairness, shape our understanding of human nature. This engaging and thought-provoking book offers a unique lens into our own inner struggles and societal challenges, reminding us of the complexities ingrained in our evolutionary history.
Evolution and morality. The evolution of species and the role of genes in survival was believed to determine an individual's morality until studies of animals revealed selflessness, sportsmanship, and a sense of fairness in their behavior. Charles Darwin's groundbreaking work rejected the notion of God creating humans and asserted that all species, including humans, evolved from genetic variations that aided species preservation. This thought was later augmented by Konrad Lorenz, who believed evolution's purpose was to pass on genes rather than preserving a species. Richard Dawkins coined the term selfish gene, which described behavior that benefits others with the same genes. However, Frans De Waal's study on reconciliation behavior among chimpanzees and other research documented examples of selflessness, sportsmanship, and fairness in various animals' behavior, proving that morality is not solely dependent on survival of the fittest. Understanding bonobos. Bonobos, also known as pygmy chimpanzees, have long hair with a prominent middle part, are more delicate, and have smaller heads than their chimpanzee counterparts. They have been observed to be pansexual and have sex frequently, but not for procreation. Bonobos have also been noted to be more sensitive and non-violent than chimpanzees, and females call the shots in their societies. The power of group cohesion in gender dominance. Female bonobos exhibit stronger group cohesion, making them the dominant gender, while chimpanzees, who lack such social bonds, are dominated by males. Experts were initially skeptical of research claims that female bonobos dominated their male counterparts, despite being physically weaker. However, field researchers discovered that female bonobos' social bonds and group cohesion allowed them to stand up to males, who were less socially united. In contrast, chimpanzees, who live in a less lush habitat separated from bonobos by the Congo River, lack the same social bonds. Female chimpanzees search for food alone and are forced to split up, while male chimpanzees acquire more food through group hunting. Interestingly, female chimpanzees in zoo settings, where they are in closer proximity to each other, demonstrated a decrease in gender power imbalances. Females formed social bonds and united against aggressive male behavior, even disarming males to prevent retaliation. Ultimately, the study shows that the dominant gender is not necessarily the physically stronger one, but the one with stronger group cohesion. Female bonobos exhibit this quality, allowing them to dominate males, while chimpanzees, who lack social bonds, are dominated by males. The politics of primates. Chimpanzees establish stable hierarchies through a cycle of cohabitation involving alpha male rule, challenge, and public reconciliation. Frans De Waal witnessed a post-fight embrace between two males and wondered why the winner would make peace with the loser. The answer lies in the importance of cooperation in group hunting. With clear hierarchies, the group can work together. After years of alpha male rule, a challenger emerges, gains supporters through grooming, and a fight ensues until one admits defeat. Among chimpanzees, the defeated male is not driven out or killed but publicly reconciles with the winner. Privileges are granted to the supporters of the winner, establishing a new phase of stable hierarchies. The competitive love life of chimpanzees. The power hierarchy among male chimpanzees determines their likelihood of reproducing, with alpha males having more opportunities. Female chimpanzees compete for resources to ensure the survival of their offspring. While female chimpanzees choose to mate with the alpha male, they are selective with other males. Males outside the alpha group must sneak behind the alpha's back to mate and risk brutal beatings if caught. The ultimate goal is to pass on their genes to future generations. Gender differences in evolution. The physical differences between gender in different species help to draw conclusions about their development over time. In gorillas, males are much larger and more dominant than females, while chimpanzee males are only slightly larger but still dominant. However, bonobo males are only slightly larger than females, and despite male ancestors being dominant, it is the females who hold the power today. This reversal of dominance has also led to differences in life expectancy, with males in dominant positions often having shorter lives due to the stress of constant power struggles. The evolutionary adaptation of gender differences in humans suggests that men were dominant over women at an earlier stage of development. The evolution of testicles. Male primates have varying testicle sizes due to their mating dynamics. Male gorillas have small testicles because the dominant alpha male only mates with the females in his harem, while male chimpanzees have bigger testicles because they share females with lower-ranked males. Male bonobos have the biggest testicles because they mate with multiple females, and their sperm compete to fertilize the eggs. Human testicles are in between in size and suggest that stable heterosexual partnerships have been dominant in human societies for a long time. Overall, testicle size reflects the mating habits of male primates. Infanticide and evolution. Eliminating offspring for sake of reproduction. Infanticide is a shocking animal behavior seen among various species, except for bonobos, which are the only primates that do not commit infanticide. Male animals tend to eliminate the offspring of their competitors to mate with females quickly, and this behavior has been observed among bears, rats, dolphins, and all primates except for bonobos. In such cases, female interests tend to clash with those of males. The genes of males that eliminate the offspring of their competitors and rapidly produce their own tend to prevail, while the females tend to safeguard their young ones regardless of the father's identity. Bonobos appear to follow the opposite strategy by having sex with all males, including those from other territories. In evolutionary terms, it is pointless for males to kill babies that could potentially be their own. In contrast, human females form pair bonds, and they ensure the paternity of their offspring and receive protection from males. However, the desire to have sex with other attractive partners, which contradicts pair bonding, has not disappeared. The evolution of fairness. Frans De Waal's research reveals the hardwired genetic makeup of apes possessing an aversion to unfairness. Documenting the distribution of rewards among both capuchin monkeys and chimpanzees after they work together, it proves that apes developed a sense of fairness after cooperating according to a distribution method. This fairness has always been regarded as an exclusively human trait until the experiments showed that it is present in animals too. It is fascinating to note that some of the chimpanzees even fast rather than working for unfair benefits. Empathy and understanding in the animal kingdom. Animals are capable of understanding and empathizing with each other's feelings, with primates going a step further by being able to imagine how others feel. Chimpanzees are also capable of differentiating their consciousness from others and consciously helping others. This behavior is only observed in animals that can recognize what others might be thinking. Animals' capacity for empathy and understanding is not limited to their own kind. Many animals, like monkeys, dolphins, and horses, possess the ability to empathize with fellow animals' feelings, and yawn when they see others yawn, just like humans. This response is not observed in people with autism, who have difficulty understanding other people's feelings. However, primates go beyond mere empathy and can even imagine how others feel. In one experiment, researchers observed the behavior of two chimpanzees, one blindfolded, and the other watching while food was hidden. When the blindfold was removed, the watcher chimpanzee did not expect his companion to know about the hidden food. Chimpanzees are also capable of recognizing themselves in mirrors, which is linked to the ability to differentiate their own consciousness from others. Other animals, such as elephants, dolphins, and magpies, also pass the mirror test. The only animals capable of consciously helping others are those that understand what others might be thinking. Chimpanzees are among them and have been known to throw a rope into a ditch to help their friends climb up. Another incident involved a young female bonobo that helped a bird fly again after it collided with the glass of her enclosure. She cared for it until it was better, climbed to the top of a tree with it in her hand, carefully spread apart its wings, and threw it high into the sky, demonstrating a deep understanding of what the bird wanted to do. The dark side of primates. Renowned ethologist Jane Goodall discovered that chimpanzees engage in wars with rival groups, killing members and taking over territories. On the other hand, bonobos also act with hostility towards outsiders, but de-escalate fights through sex instead of violence. Xenophobia might be part of our evolutionary makeup and can only be counteracted by empathy, which should be studied by ethologists in the future. The two types of morality. A scan of the human brain reveals that our moral decisions are not always based on rationality and free will, as we assume. Instead, the deeper brain regions that we share with primates often guide our decisions. Two moral dilemmas were presented to subjects during a study, and while the first dilemma showed only cerebral cortex activity, the second activated deeper brain areas. As a result, subjects were less likely to push a person off a bridge to save others, demonstrating the clash between two types of morality. The two inner apes. Humans possess both competitive and collaborative inner apes due to evolution's rewards for aggressive behavior and inherent social instincts. These apes are constantly in conflict and determine our interactions with others. Despite the development of the collaborative ape and its empathy, the competitive ape persists and does not get suppressed. This results in a complex mix of factors and moral dilemmas that challenge our impulses for empathetic or competitive behavior. This conflict is observed even in apes, where a chimpanzee faced with a medium-sized prey must decide whether to share with others or keep it to himself to increase his chances of becoming the alpha male. Thus, the coexistence of the two inner apes makes our interactions more difficult but also more substantial and multifaceted at the same time. The complexity of human nature. Humans are both competitive and cooperative, and the key to improving society is understanding our deep-seated nature. Communism assumes that competitive behavior can be overcome, while free market economists believe that people only act in their own interest. However, human behavior is more complex than these theories suggest. Humans, like other primates, have a willingness to help others and a sense of fairness. These innate behaviors are likely anchored in our genetic makeup. Although we can act differently, our impulses to behave a certain way are extremely strong. Rationality alone is insufficient to offset our inbred xenophobia. To counter these negative impulses, we must harness the empathy of our cooperative nature. Our morality is just as deep-seated as our aggression and competitive mindset. However, our ability to understand both the little wiggle room our free will leaves us and how strongly our inner ape's antagonistic powers affect us is key to improving society. Our inner conflicts are what make us human, and our intelligence allows us to understand that others have them as well. By understanding the complexity of human nature, we can work towards building a better society.
In Inner Ape, Frans De Waal unravels the tapestry of human nature by examining our closest cousins, chimpanzees and bonobos. We come to appreciate the intricacies of our shared primal instincts, as we observe the power dynamics, empathy, aggression, and moral dilemmas inherent in primate behavior. Furthermore, the author sheds light on the importance of understanding our inner conflicts, along with the role of empathy in navigating societal issues. As we embrace our complicated evolutionary past, we gain the necessary awareness and tools for a harmonious, empathetic, and progressive future. An insightful and captivating read, Our Inner Ape offers an invaluable perspective on embracing our complex human nature.